everybody. Welcome back to another episode of She Who Remembers. I'm your host, Antonia Bova. Today we are going to talk about your dreams and why they matter more than you think. Dreams are where your psyche really comes alive. It is your subconscious thoughts and beliefs that are showing you patterning in real time. Now, while I may not be an expert on the dream world and dreams in general, I personally practice recording my dreams every single night. It is so incredibly important to be able to understand what you are seeing and receiving in your dream and then dissect it to get to the root cause of what that pattern is. I observe patterns in this path of lineage healing, and so becoming aware of what they are and what they're showing you in your dream state is highly beneficial in your healing process. So what dreams actually are your nervous system processing information that is too challenging for your conscious mind to face in that moment. And so our healing path is not linear. Therefore, your dreams will be very fragmented in what comes up and why and how the dream world is showing you. And so a lot of what we see won't make sense because the symbolism can be very out there, but it all is trying to show you something that roots back to you, what you're moving through and processing, and why. Your dreams are you being able to come into contact with different parts and versions of yourself. And so this is really beautiful because our perception of the world in our waking life and our day-to-day life is based off of our trauma, our patterning, our conditioning. And so especially when we're interacting with other people, we are quite literally seeing ourselves in those people because the people in our lives are a mirror for our subconscious. So if something is triggering me in another person, it's because it's a wound that has not healed in myself. If I see the light and the genuine, true emotions of somebody, then it's something that I really appreciate within myself. And so these things are on the forefront of your mind because it's what is happening in your personal database every single day. And so dreams are basically just a mirror to that. It's like the room of mirrors. There's mirrors everywhere. And so when you're in your dream state, there may be characters, like a movie, right? There may be characters playing out something in your dream, but really it's just another mirror. And it's like you showing you what you need to know. It's pretty fascinating and incredible when you really break it down. And so I will just say a very quick example. I did have this very impactful dream, and it was this woman who I know in my life who has a little bit of chaotic energy, but she shows me wounding from something that I have outgrown. But it's funny whenever this person comes around because it almost comes back to surface. It's another test. Do you want to engage? Do you not want to engage? Do you want to put up a boundary? Do you not want to put up a boundary? And so it kind of tests how far you've come in your growth, how quick you are to let that energy kind of seep into your field. And so I was around this person recently, and so this energy had come up. And in the dream, she was being really chaotic, and doctors were trying to operate on her. And the surgery messed up because she was going wild. She didn't stop moving. And so she ended up almost convulsing, and her spirit left her body. And there was this actress who was a few beds over, and this specific actress has really calm, grounded, peaceful energy. So it's funny that her archetype came through. And so she came out of her physical body, and their spirit bodies met up in the room, and the spirit body was hey, you need to calm down, and kind of gently guided her spirit body back into her physical body. And so this was a very crazy, intense dream. And I was do I need to help? My initial thought was do I need to help this person? Are they going through a hard time? The crazy energetic person. And I had actually I did put it through ChatGPT because I like using ChatGPT to dissect my dreams because it helps me really understand like what the symbolism is and what is going on. Or there's other websites too, like called Dream Interpretations. There's a whole bunch out there. And it basically had told me it was my higher self guiding me in a turbulent time for being around wounding that was trying to resurface. So all of that to say, your dreams will show you parts of yourself that need to be focused on, that need attention, that are asking for you to heal, work on, pay attention to. It's almost like, warning, this is trying to come back. What are you going to do with this? When you understand dreams in this way, you're really able to use it as a tool. And there are some people who are like, I don't remember my dreams. I can never remember my dreams. And I will say to that, you can practice. There's like dream hygiene is kind of what I like to call it. You can practice saying before bed, Spirit, please help me remember my dream. And like this, again, everything that I share here in House of Antonia, this isn't like, I say it, I do it, and now it's done. It takes practice. It takes devotion. It takes dedication. This is work, and I know people don't like hearing that, but it is like this beautiful daily practice. We'll call it daily practice to just kind of soften it a bit. But it's really signaling to your higher self, to your guides, to the people watching over you, hey, I'm really wanting to work on this thing. I'm ready. Open up the floodgates. Let's go. And when we start kind of conditioning our mind to focus on something, it then reciprocates. And that's my last episode about the manifestation and kind of like that red car theory. Like wherever you do put your mind and your energy, your field will reflect that. That's just universal law. And so there are things that you can do when you wake up in the morning. If you wake up to an alarm, yeah, there are going to be some mornings that you probably might not remember your dreams because you're waking up in kind of like a chaotic state. You're being jolted out of your dream. And then you start thinking about all the things that you have to do. And that might be something that your body's like, whoa, no, fight, flight, freeze. We're not. We're not going to go into this dreamy state anymore. Basically, it's so important to have a journal next to your bed. Or personally, what I do is I do it through voice note. Because I will say, I was journaling my dreams every morning. And if I forgot to flip the page before I went to bed the night before, I would wake up in the morning and just start writing, and it would be dark in my room. And I'd write over my night before. And it just looked crazy. I couldn't see what I was writing because it was so dark in my room. So I'm like, this is no longer working for me. But I pick up my phone. I keep my eyes closed, and my phone has the little, I can do like the red light. And so my phone has a little red light, and I just have it open, and I just keep my eyes closed. I say my whole dream. And then later in the day, I review it, or later in the morning even, when I'm ready to touch my phone and pick up my phone, I'll review the dream, and then I'll input it to figure out like what exactly the harbor meant, or the boat, being in a freaking tsunami. Like there's such crazy, wild symbolism that won't naturally make sense to you. So it is important to be able to go and then interpret, what does this mean? What is this trying to show me? This animal, this person, this energy, because it's everything. Was it daytime or nighttime? Are you remembering specific times, like 7 p.m.? And everything means something. Truly, truly, everything means something. And it's showing you different versions of yourself. It really is so beautiful, and it's so powerful. I will say, for the people who may smoke, I've found that some friends of mine can't remember their dreams. And so I would be mindful about that. If you are listening to this and you do partake in that, then it probably will be much more challenging for you to remember your dreams. And to be honest, I don't have a solution for that, unless like it was just a day that you didn't, and then you set the intention the night before, then yes. And so people who wake up to alarms also, like every single day of the week, practice this on the weekend. Practice this on a Saturday or a Sunday. Let your body naturally wake up and see what comes through. It could just be one quick little thing. Great. That's a perfect start. And then you build from there. So it's pretty interesting when you break down what each person is in your dream. So when you see a parent figure in your dream, that typically is a root belief or a wound. If you see a child in your dream, that typically is like your inner child, your inner self. If you see danger, that's typically an inner fear. If you see love, it's desire. And so if you kind of just put all of this together, you'll be like, wow, this is incredible. Our dreams are showing us what our waking mind is not ready to look at yet. And so our nervous system is so complex. It is literally connected to everything. It's how we show up in the world. It's how we process. It's how we recover. It is the foundation of everything in our health and well-being. So what we are processing and experiencing in our dreams is really kind of like inching at the nervous system being able to catch up to that thing. That's for better or for worse. Meaning, if it's something that is incredibly traumatic and heavy, that you've been through that, you're just still in the processing phases, you're going through the 5 stages of grief, like there's just a lot going on, and like you're being very patient with yourself, your nervous system is going to start processing that in dream state because it's uninterrupted. It's subconscious. When you're finally ready to face it in the conscious body, you've already done a lot of the work in the subconscious to be able to face it, sit with it, receive it, and not go into like panic essentially. For better is when there's something really massive coming in, maybe that you've been manifesting, you stepping into a new timeline, your higher self, something that is just vast, like I have been wanting to hold space for this big thing. Say I wanted to hold space for 100 women at this beautiful event, and it was going to be like so much energy, so much love and abundance, but I haven't really caught my own conscious mind up to that place yet. I can start working on that in the dream state to feel it, to actually like embody it, to understand how it feels for my nervous system to hold that capacity, that light, that space for those women, so that when I then am back again in waking, I can start really actually feeling into it because my nervous system has caught up to it. So it's a lot of like you're doing so much work in your dreams, and your dreams get to be super productive. Another thing I do really want to say about dreams is I look at dreams as more work that I'm able to do spiritually, and I will listen to subliminals in my dreams for whatever it is that I'm working on at that time. So back a while back, this is a few years ago, I was really working on all of my clairs, clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience, and so on. And so I would listen to these little subliminal messages in my sleep, and it'd go on for 8 to 10 hours. And it would help me kind of blast open my clairs because, again, the subliminals are playing and your mind is fully receiving it without any interruption, without your system blocking it, without anything. So therefore, your mind is kind of absorbing and digesting this information. This is so potent and so powerful. What I am telling you is a gift. Like, this is game-changing, completely life-changing. And when you think of your sleep as this is the time for your body to recover, not only physically, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And so playing subliminals, playing frequencies, sound bowls, you name it, this is all helping your system for that 8 hours that you're sleeping, or less or more. But still, it's getting the work done. Whatever you are setting up for yourself for dream state is helping you tenfold in waking state. Processing the dreams in a healthy way is really important. When you finally have all of this information of, okay, I have recorded my dreams, I have now dissected them, now what? You are going to pay attention to any of the patterning that you see that's coming up, and then notice, is this an old pattern that I've already healed from? Is this a pattern that I'm currently working through? And kind of like question and probe what that thing is so that you can work on it in real time. If it is a pattern that you've already healed and it's showing back up again, it's almost just gently kind of poking you like, hey, just pay attention to this. And so then you're going to just put a little bit more of your energy on like, where is this showing up and why, and where do I need to pivot? Is it more of a boundary I need to set? Do I need to create more distance with this person? And so on. If it's something that is a current pattern, then your nervous system has created more space for you to be able to work on this in real time. And so then you're able to seek support within yourself, ask your higher self for help and energy in being able to intercept this thing and really being able to understand from a place of more clarity of like, okay, I have awareness to this now. How can I pivot? How can I break this pattern? How can I show up in a different way? Dreams are also a really beautiful way to play out trauma that wasn't able to play out maybe in the way that you wanted in real time. So it really just allows trauma to move through the body because trauma is stored in the body. So even, and this is in my previous episodes as well, but when we experience something traumatic, it can be processed through awareness because then you're like, okay, I'm noticing this is something that's keeping me stuck, keeping me in a loop. I've now put that piece of awareness on it. I'm noticing it happening in real time, but it's still happening. Now what? Now you need to figure out where in your body you're feeling this so that you can release it somatically, meaning movement, screaming, crying, dancing, breath work. There's a plethora of ways. If you're a runner, if you love the gym, the trauma needs to move. You need to physically get it out of your body. You can't just be stationary in a meditation and be like, okay, I'm healing. Meditation is great, but not for like releasing the trauma. You need to get it out of your body. Being in this dream state helps you kind of like uncover these things that you would not have seen otherwise. It's almost speeding up the process of your healing in a way. We only have about 4 to 7 dreams per night. And if we, as I was saying before, wake up in this panic state, we won't remember it at all. None of them, 0. It's so essential to wake up and know that that's the first thing that you have to do. Because if you wake up and you go pee, if you wake up and you grab your phone to look at messages, if you wake up and are thinking about something completely different, of stress, of things that you have to do that day, you will lose the dream. So it's really important to set the intention before bed and then wake up and know that that's the first thing that you are going to want to do. And you're almost training your body to know that, okay, this is the routine. This is what I'm going to be doing as soon as I wake up. 5 minutes. That's all you really need. You're not going to remember every single dream and the whole extent of it. You'll remember the parts that are important for you to remember to start processing. Because there's a reason I think that we don't remember our dreams. And this is just Antonia speaking to you all. I think that whatever you do remember is what you're meant to kind of process and face at that time. And whatever you don't remember is still kind of that nervous system processing. There's a little bit more work that has to be done there before you can face it in real time. So like you let that one keep kind of like doing its thing. And don't be so hard on yourself if you're like not remembering and this takes a long time. Be patient with the process. It's not natural. It's not super easy. We live in a very noisy, busy world. And so it's going to be more challenging for the average person to remember their dreams. And some people have this really naturally where they will always remember their dreams. And then some people are like, I've never remembered a dream in my life. So there's like a very wide spectrum here. So just be patient with yourself and know that you have the ability to remember your dreams. You just have to handle it in the right way and set the right intentions and really kind of train your mind to start doing this thing that you want to do. It's like you being an active participant in your healing. You're like, okay, let's buddy up. Here's another tool. I'm going to utilize this and it's going to help my life immensely. Dreams are your inner world speaking. You don't have to figure everything out all at once. Don't put pressure on yourself. Go really, really easy and know that just honoring them is starting the healing. You even saying yes to wanting to start this starts the healing. And I'm very, very proud of all of you for what you've done so far in your healing journey, whether it be having, gotten a therapist, journaling, your own self-practice and awareness, talking to a trusted friend. This is a lot to handle. Being a human, we have a lot of emotions. We have a lot of things that we need to process. We have a lot of patterning that is, playing in the background that we don't even quite literally have the knowledge to know how to handle these types of things. And so I'm proud of you for being here, for investing in your health, for investing in wanting to know and learn more about what you can do to expand your life, create more space, give yourself the healing that you deserve. Ooh. Anyways, I wanted to call out my one-on-one container. It's called Ascension, and it's 1 month long. It's to completely transform yourself from where you started on day 1 to the end of week 4, being able to feel empowered, know your patterning, have transmuted a ton of that energy, and different tools and resources that you can take with you for the rest of your life. To be able to not go to a therapist or search for a guru or a shaman or whatever, and be able to know that if I do want to receive help, it's going to be from a place of like what I already know within me, and I'm just doing this as like confirmation or extra support. I do this work because I believe that we can all heal ourselves. We don't need other people to heal us. We have the power within ourselves. And that's not to say not to get support, because support is essential. It's important. It's lovely. It's beautiful for your healing journey. But we have the power to do it on our own. And we have the power to not need other people to get us across that threshold. It is possible. And so that's why I get a little bit frustrated when there are practitioners out there who are sucking money from you because you need them. And it's like, you don't need them. They aid in your healing. They're just a little helper. They're kind of giving you the tools and the resources, the launching pad to be able to get to that place that you were already able to get to anyways. It's just this knowledge of these tools that we're not totally aware of that I'm giving you here. That's my mini rant. But thank you so much for tuning in. It was so lovely having you all here. I have one more episode in this season, and then I bring on my 10 medicine women for season 2, and it's going to be so impactful. I am still a student, always, and so I'm excited to learn from these women. I'm excited to share all of the knowledge with you, and I hope that you have a wonderful holiday. I'll see you all next time. Have a great rest of your week. Thank you.